Okay. This should. Let's see. I'm wondering if that microphone actually catches me. These microphones actually. Okay, yeah, they do. A little bit of whistling, and that is actually painful. I don't think I recommend that for. I was probably going for the microphone from that. Okay, so I'm not actually going to need. I'm not talking to anybody, so I'm not going to need a freaking. If anybody comes in. Welcome. I'm Bar1 Scripting. Ben Rodriguez. Artist on, used to be drawing a show, thing called Peter's the Wolf. Today we're working on a little something different. We got some samples up here. References for a from a coloring. Those are reference pages from a coloring book I did recently, and like adjusting things to where. This girl that appears in the coloring book is not going to be. As coloring book pages, she's not going to be in this project. And this is going to be the first page of a neat little web comic. And we'll see how this goes. If I can get anybody in to chat, that'll be nice. But as such, I welcome to being my manager, or the manager over my shoulder. You know what? This mentality does help me draw when it's a project that requires me to be on the computer or whatnot. I can draw more intensely if I'm drawing on a small drawing at my day job or something, because I'm stealing minutes away from that bored tedium. So it's like I can draw a little more intensely and more focused, oddly enough, by turning away from my by being a crap employee. But it's when it's on my own time and I'm in a roof and I'm in an apartment with my game systems, my TVs, my computers, all my distractions, my video games and stuff, movies and whatnot. It's a little bit harder for me to focus. So even if nobody comes into the room to the stream, because I don't really have a topic, this does help me focus mentally. Like there's somebody actually watching over my shoulder. My substitute conscience that says you really should be productive. You should be toiling, not being a wastrel, not being a coomer or any of that stuff. And who knows? Maybe we'll get to the point where maybe we'll get to the point where I'm actually doing more planned streams, and maybe even have some people coming in or whatnot. It's kind of weird being part of the sci-fi community right now. The main socializing all got canceled last year, and for the last few years, I really haven't been that into anything coming out. Like, I was not looking forward to any of these. I wasn't looking forward to any of the releases for 2020 anyways, and then they just canceled them all. Put them, oh, we're going to go on streaming, and we're going to delay everything for a year, and it's like, well, I don't know if the market recovers for the superhero market and whatnot, and the sci-fi market as such. I guess this TV show or something like they were just advertising would work. It's going to work because I think was that Alan Tudyk in the show, the main role. But my point is, to get these people ramped up again to wait in line at the movie theaters. I mean, we already kind of watched the death with the final Harry Potter movie of the big line around the block midnight event things. And now everybody's so used to their home theaters. Are you going to the main thing I could think to do, changing up theaters a bit, would be doing a combination stream for movie premiere and live event. So like a live in theater premiere of a movie or whatever, and then also having the streaming, like you have to be there on time to watch it because you'll get a slight maybe bleed over from the audience. Have it so you can actually hear audience applause and laugh or whatever. So something, and then because then you're going straight into a live. Here's the like live premieres tend to have the director, trot out the movie, a couple of the stars and writer and whatever, and talk about the movie everybody just saw. Or I noticed theaters near me are saying for like $225 to rent a theater. They're doing a lot more theater, they're because they can't pack them full for multiple showings anymore. Showing after showing after showing, they are advertising their services more about like theater rentals and stuff. So your movie club gets to go and see a movie on the big screen or something, and you're all coof free. I think people are still kind of humorously worried about this, aren't they? I'm encountering more and more people I know, friends or something from Facebook or whatever, who are catching it, and I'm still by summer last year, I was actually partly convinced that I'm kind of convinced that I've already had the coof, that I already got the coronavirus back in 2019, like late 2019, November, December, because of my proximity to a bunch of flights in from Wuhan. I might have actually got this when nobody recognized what the hell it was. I just think that every little bit of texture on my line work. I'm not going to do a hell of a lot of shading digitally, unlike my previous webcomic work. I mean, if I decide to color this, okay, I guess I color it, but much of this is more about just letting the line texture do its work. So all I have to do is scan and post. And scan add. Feels good to be back on playing with the fanboy paper. I think I might get a couple hours of drawing out of this today. Been having a pretty good, relatively good day. I had this. Did a little shopping, got a pen over at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to try this paint pen, see if this works as well as any other corrective pen. And I'm usually using whiteout pens, but I was searching like multiple stores that usually have those, and not a zilch. Like nobody carries the old Bic, paper pen corrector. So okay, time to switch up materials, switch up tactics, and experiment. So I downloaded a coupon and just buy one item at a Hobby Lobby. Just figured that listening to some instrumental music wouldn't hurt. The microphone is picking that up. But yeah, this isn't going to be werewolves. This isn't going to be furry. This is going to be a space opera, actually. We're going to introduce our heroine here. Like Misha Burnett says, it should always introduce a heroine actively doing something, or a hero should be introduced actively doing something that might inform you of the character. So through her body language, she's a bit pensive maybe. And you also get this kind of the classic look of a girl, little. And yes, I'm ridiculously obsessed with the Empire gown that was popularized during the Napoleonic Wars. That very brief period of the Regency. Because the actual style of dress, very much informed by kind of a pastiche of the ancient Greeks, was almost immediately replaced. It was like maybe 20 years, 30 max, when this dress style was, that Jane Austen style of dress was the height of fashion. And it was getting rid of a lot of the frills. It was designed to get rid of a lot of the frills of the previous thing, because before that, you had that wide side to side. You had that wide side to side where there's a padding here and a padding here. Here's a pencil. Where there's like padding here, coming out the side, padding here, coming out the side. That was kind of all stripped away for something much more mobile and much more energetic. This is kind of why you have an almost tomboyish look. This is it's kind of funny because the flapper dress never really, the flapper that shortcut with the fringe and everything, that was a very brief period of a decade. You had that very brief period in which that was the fashion, and then it was almost completely replaced by the wartime clothing afterwards. And beforehand, it was still Gilded Age. It was the Gibson Girl. But it was still Gilded Age clothing and fashion and forming. It was a very extreme. It was a very constant look in the late 1800s, the Gilded Age, and the early 1900s, the early Edwardian, right up until the Roaring 20s. And that's when everything just kind of like this. It was all bets were off. On the flip side, I'm just after these incremental little shifts, like you'd see the hemline change a bit, you'd see the general hemlines and stuff change a bit. Then you have this like, boom, there goes. The skirts are way up past the knee. They're basically, I mean, the flapper dress was almost a chemise, really. It was barely going to be longer than your shift or your nightshirt underneath, your under. It was basically almost you're wearing a second layer of underwear. Outdoors, which is kind of why the flapper dress was so scandalous. A lot of people, when they talk about this thing, don't really consider that. Just like the t-shirt, a lot of people don't consider that the common t-shirt is actually underwear. It's supposed to be an undergarment. It's supposed to be so the tank top, or wife beater as it gets called. I prefer tank top. These were undergarments. You were supposed to have a button-down shirt, long sleeve, over this. This is going to be my webcomic. You literally see me lay out the first panels of it for Love's Crown. why not? Why not start with letting people just kind of poke their nose in and see these things go out? I rarely get more than. I think I might have had a few more people if I'd gone with Picardo. Sadly, I'm trying to build up a new audience on this, on each of my. Even though, yeah, I can easily lose this YouTube at any moment because just the way YouTube is on every bit of content. I'm small. I'm like 30 people. I'm so tiny that nobody's gonna freaking notice if I say things that are way out of line, or if I come up with some dank meme, if I meme some dank memes or whatever. Just think. This doesn't make for a nice stream. Interesting. Maybe I should talk even softer. Just let the ASMR flow. Hey, thanks for coming in. We really miss it. Yeah, it's a very brief period. It's kind of funny. The what is it? The Georgian, yeah, the Georgian dress had a side by side. They could had a big side by side that eventually got slimmed down. Um, and then, like if you look at a period accurate representation of something like Tom Jones, or let me think of the fashions in. She stoops to conquer. You know, you have these the more elegant dresses have this wide side to side. Although you did have women that just kind of dressed a lot more sensibly. The working class, the more closer you got to, and this is why Revolutionary War fashion, the women's dress is a lot more different. There were still some things like a modest bustle, but they weren't the exaggerated bustles that you saw in the bolsters and whatnot that you saw in Europe. Well, primarily because there was a freaking war going on, And even before then, well, it was a series of wars. I mean, if you ever look up Dunmore's War and the various, because there was first the French and Indian War, and there was various Indian campaigns, as you know, because it's not like there was just one big tribe. No, there was a bunch of different tribes and different chiefs, many of whom just kind of going to war and brawling with their neighbors was something that they were supposed to do as young men. So women's clothing was not that heavy and exaggerated in fashion in the Americas than it was in Europe. It was a lot more practical, and it was a lot more working class. It was a lot more farmer. It was a lot more frontier. It was a lot more farmer, always. Meanwhile, after the Napoleonic Wars, you saw the back end coming in. You saw these big trains coming off the back in women's fashion in the Victorian era. Which is annoying because we've lost so much in fashion. To this very stripped down. I mean, women wearing jeans is kind of a. It's rare that you see Western women wearing skirts in full length or anything close to a dress, unless they're at like a reenactment. And it's like, well, why do we give up some of these things anyway to begin with? Either they're a religious or cultural extremist or something like the I'll say they're religious extremists. They're not even really extreme. The Amish, they're cultural extremists. They are, well, they have an identity and they have a culture and they act accordingly. More power to them. And this is all just one pen. One ink weight. And look how much. How quickly things take form. I'll probably end this in an hour since I've got no interaction. Bugger all. Well, another 30 minutes. Man can get interaction, and he knows he can. I mean, I know I can add more of this stream to. I know I can take this elsewhere, and I'll have at least a few people pop in if I go to Picardo, which is where I have more viewers. Those people tend to expect me to be drawing for EF, so it's just something I've been getting away from. Just declining interest in supplying that. The money isn't. The money is there, but it's not for somebody who would like to cultivate a conscience. I swear to God. These branches are also going to be early by the time we get here. So I've got a couple ideas for other illustrations, but I've already got the ink work done on a Valentine's Day. Drawing. It's gonna be a kissing booth with a cute clown girl at it. Because Halloween clown girls. The reason why it's like Halloween character artwork, another girl from the coloring book, is because haunted attractions routinely have special days, a special Valentine's Day weekend. They'll be open for these nights, and the reason why, because hey, it makes a good date night. People like to take a girl out, get her scared like a horror movie or something, or this. You can go in and just walk through a little horror movie and have fun with that. And that's gonna be one drawing I have. So I got that for a 4x6 idea drawing. I guess Valentine's Day card drawing, and then I want to do another 8x10. I think of for St. Patrick's Day. I want to return to Sheila and the Gigs. It's been a while since I've drawn that boisterous Irish, the most authentically Irish pub within staggering distance at campus. And for that, we can what was I going to mention? Losing train of thought. It's so easy.
Um, yeah, I've got a St. Patrick's Day,
Sheila Gigs, fairies and stuff. I think I might just draw a straight up drawing for Easter. Um, for April, like one drawing, one color drawing, 8x10 or 4x6 print per month. But something to actually celebrate Christianity and not kitsch for Easter. That's my thinking. It could be easily, yeah, it could be easy to do a Easter bunny. So here's a bunny girl. No, I do want to stray away from that. I want to walk away. There's a lot of versions of walking away. And being something new. Take a new direction. And take it seriously. And I'd also just like to get some reading done. I have a ridiculous number of books. Not that I'm working on, but books I bought and need to read. Would like to. This nice little odd twist in the tree. Which is so this book will involve at least one shot of right at the beginning of 60 people or something. Most of them just placeholders because they aren't the mains, but the idea will be kind of a battle royale set in space. With a few little interesting twists.
Huh. Here I am giving into the distraction, seeing if anybody has a. Nope.
Let's see with the alignment. Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
Gnarled to the roots. There you go. Moisture gets the ink flowing. And usually you don't have to do as detailed as background and foreground as I'm doing right now. But you always need strong establishing elements, strong establishing shots, and strong establishing elements. You know, people need a little bit of a map or be able to imagine what's going on, what is going on, where, and what the action looks, where the action is taking place, when the action happens. So it helps to have a bit of a setup. Way too many modern comics. Well, way too many mainstream comics also have like just the majority of the fights are just happening in a void, which to me is uninteresting. This is why they end up having just strong punch go pow or energy blasts or whatever as hero and bizarrely underpowered villains nowadays, as Critical Drinker's latest video pointed out, go slinging it out. And I always enjoyed more of the Jackie Chan style fight scene where every element around your characters, but then you're going to have to detail those things because you're going to have to show, hey, they're in the kitchen, and that's why all of a sudden one guy has a knife and the other guy has a coffee pot, kind of thing. But that action is always intense and more interesting. Even non-action actions, and you'll see this as you study my artwork. A lot of people talk about my gestural style, but there's also this. I never have people just for a webcomic. I was never one to draw people with just standing around with their arms crossed, which is the hallmark of a hastily drawn webcomic. For where the style webcomic where there's very little continuity or nothing really matters. It's just a vehicle for the jokes. Meanwhile, you have me, who I want to have. This will probably be a shade area. Hey, she's in this little comfy, cozy tree. There's gonna be this creature here drinking out of the water. The fashion that she wears, Regency inspired. It came about as also people were. There was, I guess, like a large treasure trove of ancient Greek statues and Roman artwork recovered. So people began emulating the fashion styles, and they're kind of going into museums and stuff. So I was like, oh, the way these ancient ladies dress and all. Just the nature of it was how do I say this? It's kind of odd for me. But they were having these early revivals of the Greek myths and whatnot, and heroism. And that was also the time where people were moving further and further away from the kings and princes of Europe, the Regency, etc., and more towards parliamentary republican rule. The French Revolution, of course, the American Revolution preceding it. So I think that's also why some of these things, the fashions got streamlined and simplified as well, to reflect this the reinvigoration of this older way, that this Bronze Age lifestyle that was. And this is also right as things were going towards the industrial age, was getting upwards. So yeah, there was going to be that, once again, a rejection of there's going to be a reaction to the industrialization. And if you look at the ancients and the Bronze Age, then it would be viewed more of a golden age of humanity. This kind of is why I'm so interested in something like Bronze Age Pervert's book, Bronze Age Mindset. I just listened to that audiobook, and it's weird. It's not a self-help book, but it's just extolling the virtues of the ancients. And talking about the vitality of them. Yeah, that's almost that's a good hour. I can thank you for joining me. If you actually tune in after the fact to watch this. I'm going to shift streams and see if I can get a little more interaction. Or whatnot. But I'm Bar One Scorpio, Bar One Studios, and thanks for joining me. Oh, Dandy King. Oh, fuck. How did I not recognize? How did your. I'm sorry, man. I did not see one of your freaking comments. Bugger all. How is this? Live chat. Oh, bugger all. 9. Oh, I'm just out here. Yeah. Okay. No, seriously, I did not see the difference between comments and live chat. Oh, fuck. Sorry, man. Pardon me. All these comments are power fantasies. Yeah, the comments are power fantasies now. Yeah, no, Danny. The whole time I was just talking to myself, essentially, because I wasn't in live chat. So I feel really stupid. Yeah, it's a nice desk. Yeah, it's This is I ordered like this $200 glass desk just for this, just to have the art station. What do you think of this girl as our heroine, huh? So this is why I was thinking of shutting down the stream and going to Picardo instead to maybe get some. There, at least we could get McClaw and probably to show up for somebody else. And I'd be able to read the friggin' chat. Whatever I want to do. I think that will work. I'm trying to figure out. So the head stops right here, actually. Yeah, that's about right. Trying to make sure that all her little parts are in the right places. Well, the reason why I went that Total Recall, you mean the original Total Recall or the new Total Recall? Because there was also that new remake that was apparently awful, and I wasn't about to bother with that. The original? Yeah, the original Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, there was like a it was either mid 2000s or mid 2010s remake. Pretty sure it was Obama era. Mostly Chinese partly Chinese funded, and they had to make all the bad guy henchmen robots. To go for a PG-13 rating. That's really when I started to turn away from like all this converged Chinese cinema, man, because it's like it became gradually more and more obvious that they were just going to force a blander and blander product on us, because it was not moving. I mean, with as ridiculous as, as saturated as the comic book market is, you really shouldn't be trying to go for a quote unquote market. You should just be, hey, what's an excuse to draw what I want to draw? And don't consider the conversation. Oh, that's a conversation and half there. What's going on? Let's try and. Well, we've got the first 4 panels. This is going to be page 1 of the book. You're going to be introducing our heroine, Catherine Prudence Goodlove, or Prue for short. Because why give her a freaking normal name? And you're going to have this little animal, this antelope-like creature. It's drinking slurp out of the river. She's stepping up to it, raises his head to her, and she breaks out a gun to blow it away with. See, exactly, Catherine Kitty or something. Everybody would naturally go for that. Hence, we go for the middle name, Prudence. Because nobody names a character Prue. Sidestep the expected, and more importantly, leave us with a, well, what is going on here then with these? Could we wish she could have gone with the name of Peggy? Yeah. Peggy is. I'm not even sure what Peggy is short for anymore. If I ever was. Like Elizabeth gets shortened to Betty. Elizabeth has so many. Betty, Bess, Liz. Each one with a different personality associatable with it. Da, 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 da. Other pens. A nice little brush pen. Look how thick this lays it out. Although it never really looks like that true black that I can get with the Wow pens that I have. See, look at that slight discoloration there. It just doesn't really come out and dip in. It doesn't really just get into the paper like 8.08. And maybe you can't notice, well, not because you're looking through a camera on a little YouTube screen, but I also have this. It's like I can see when it's like a near true black to where it's versus when it's this faded mess.
And that's what annoys the hell out of me. And and you're not even seeing it. Because the camera angle. Ha! Eh. Can't beat the what? Can't beat the nickname for Richard. Yeah. For God's sakes. Now I'm trying to adjust that camera a bit. Let's see. Ah, there we go. I think that's a little bit more of what we need. I mean, the first discordant example of something weird, uncanny going on is going to be you have this girl who, oh my gosh, she's in a dress, a billowy dress, and then she whips out a pistol. A very modern looking or a space age looking pistol. So the initial reader, kind of right coming on in here, without any warning, will have this immediate plunge into a discordant, possibly humorous juxtaposition. And it's kind of funny that I do finally have a design for her. Everybody, all the characters are going to have a little floating orb robot called a chaperone with them. I was like, do I have her show up right in the second or the fourth panel? But her robot, her little chaperone robot, whereas one of the other girls has one that looks like she's wearing a samurai helmet. Hers looks like it has a little teapot, a little Mrs. Teapot spout coming off the front end. Yeah, there's a sort of sci-fi here. Yeah, it's going to be a sci-fi, retro fashion sci-fi. Now, this is the one thing that I have like an actual freaking story for. I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead with the coloring book. I do think a Halloween, like I was mentioning the other prints, but I'm thinking a Halloween themed playing card deck might actually be just what I need. And that might be another common, because here's a coloring book and then like a completely different thing. But I do need to get the Barbarian Babe coloring book also done. I've got 1 page done for that. Maybe 2 if I recycle some old artwork that were kind of a neat concept that never went anywhere. What the hell about that? Oh, it's trying to. Yeah, I need to sign out on this one, this device. That's somebody else. There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I suppose, if you buy something from me and order it delivered to your person, I can actually pack in like all the other, commissions and stuff that I've drawn for you over the years too. Shoot, those you're overdue to get those. The next few pages are she's going to shoot this thing, and only to realize that it's not a hologram target. This was a real creature. And the reason why she realizes this is because the chaperone is then giving her instructions on how to clean it and skin it. But reassuring her that this thing is actually a Flash cloned animal, because that's going to be some technology that they have. That's going to be the space opera levels of, this was a cloned animal. It was never actually alive more than 5 days. And the fact that there's cloning and stuff will be a part of like how the rest of the story makes sense. We're going to gradually introduce you to the world building and the competition, because it's like, oh, why would these people be in a death sport? Oh, because we can Flash clone you. Because we can actually clone you right away. You didn't really die, essentially. It's just a big old video game. The one girl, that pencil sketch, and the stupid thing is I'm already forgetting her name, even though she's going to be like the second main character. She's going to be Prudence's best friend that she makes. Start off with a little literal bang, yes. Why not? World building is a lot less important than characterization, and the dynamic way to characterize is to have your character doing actively performing a task that will tell you about who they are. All forms of in media res actually really help. Because the natural questions are, hey, how's your character in this situation? Why are they doing this? That you immediately have a questions of, there's a little girl, and you have these first two images, which are, there's an animal drinking, slurp, 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 peaceful woodland, and here's a girl traipsing through the woods in this little dress, and then you have the what? Wait, what's going on here? Why is this? What is this? Why is this? What is this? Who is this? Why is this? Ooh. That tip didn't even want to come off. There you go. A bit of the real black. Eventually I'll be able to, I think eventually as I get set up, I'll be able to have, hopefully I can start convincing people to actually join me in here. And, well, hopefully I'll be able to do this. I got a rare 6-7 hours straight sleep as soon as I got home. From work, so my midnight shift. So otherwise I'd be napping right now. Otherwise I do this bizarre broken sleep of I was sleeping like 3-4 hours in the morning, being slightly groggy, unfortunately, but then catching up and getting another 3-4 hours of sleep between 6 and 10 before work, before I get ready for the midnight shift. That just eats away at the not much energy in it. This is why this thing was just hanging around all weekend undrawn. Gotta focus here. Otherwise, I'm doing anything with it. Yeah, I just had a workout earlier today. I did a half hour on elliptical over at the gym, but then I was like, I'm not gonna make it if I try to go. I was just thinking, I can't do a swim today, too. And then the day before that, I did my home workout with the dumbbells. I'm kind of analyzing videos and stuff. There's so many bodybuilders on YouTube. It's easy to get a 20-minute or 15-minute. It's so easy to get like a 20-minute, 15-minute exercise long, but then it's like, hey, can you get in there and actually do it with them, motivate that? Which is great. The gyms are actually in my state doing group classes again, thankfully. I guess enough people complained that, hey, the detriment to people's health you haven't beaten mortality here with the lockdown. You just push things over from a person, whereas a person who might have been struggling with their weight might get this, might have a problem. With the cough, but no, now we're in a situation where, now we know they're going to have a huge problem if they get it because they haven't been working out. They've gained 20, 30 pounds and stuff, and that's going to be added stress. Why the hell did that? Pushing down, keeping people like I'm making them more unhealthy. Yeah. Oh, it tried to censor you because you used the F word. Oh, fuck. Friggin' algorithms, man. So the big part of me doing any of this is going to be me trying to find a sleep pattern, trying to normalize a sleep pattern where I can comfortably find times during the week or weekend to do this. Thursday, I didn't eat anything. Last Thursday, I didn't actually eat any food. From like 4 a.m., which was like the last time I had anything to eat that Thursday, to Friday at like 7 a.m. I didn't eat at all. I decided I was going to try and 24-hour fast. And what did happen was I managed to get 12 friggin' hours straight of sleep that evening. I went to bed finally about 7 p.m. and then I was like up at like 7 a.m. and I'm like, damn, that caught me up serious fashion. So I'm probably going to be doing the intermittent fasting. I'm going to be doing since my Friday on the work week, my Friday is Wednesday. And I'm thinking if I can keep up with it, one day wasn't too hard. The thing is, my sleep pattern is too irregular, I think, for me to do the 16-8 eating pattern where you're 16 hours not fasting and then you eat for within an 8-hour window. But if I just throw off one day a week, just to burn through some of these stored up calories. You know, just I added. I'm doing a apple cider. The apple cider vinegar as an appetite suppressant. Boy, that worked. That you drink that. You drink a couple tablespoons of that, or a couple of teaspoons of that in a water bottle, and it's like your stomach ain't too fixed on having company. But yeah, so I think I want to do 26 images, okay? And I can cull designs from the coloring book to do a card, and then a playing card deck, and then 26 doubled means you can play Old Maid with it and whatnot. So do a playing card deck of Halloween. And I think that'll be just a nice little simple project. And then after that, the coloring book. After that, the web comic. And if I can get some writing done, maybe I can motivate myself to get some writing done and actually do some other stories, because I do have a few other stories. I always liked doodling back when I was doing Peter's the Wolf. Just doodling trees, these backgrounds that were always trees in the background. You never had a really big city background. That's the funny part. It was always, if you haven't noticed Peter's the Wolf, unless there's specific buildings, it was almost always true. By the time I was like drawing in every single background and stuff, it was almost always trees. That's because even the suburbs of Michigan that I live normally in, and it's kind of funny because I was mentioning going out to Tecumseh for the Tecumseh Ice Sculpture Festival over the weekend, and somebody on my Facebook was like, "Wow, man, you drove all the way out here." I figured, metro person like you want to do that. I'm like, dude, my heart is in the country, the rural and the countryside areas, and it's one of my favorite things to draw and photograph. I mean, if you haven't noticed, you've noticed my photos and stuff when I take these road trips. Just being out in the wilderness or the countryside, small town America is my favorite America. So it's always a pleasure to draw trees for me for some reason. Back in Peter's the Wolf, the idea that the backyard of them was just opening out into this big tract of forest. Where you could imagine Peter and Sarah running and playing on their better moments when they're not in lockdown. You do live in a nice forest over there. Oh yeah. and the Great Lakes. I mean, if you noticed, I did that little ASMR video. I've got a new microphone for camera and phone too, so I can hopefully go and do something like that again. Just hit up little places, and record ambient sound. Just record ambient sound and like, hey, be soothing or something. Just walk the coasts and stuff. The shores of the Michigan Great Lakes. But yeah, there's a station that you can have a partly holographic garden in. I think Seattle has some nice wilderness around it, and Portland and all these other cities on the West Coast as well. When they're not like California and burning down. We go through a forest at night and have it all lit up and stuff. Glenlord Trails, that was a nice little trip out that I did. Bugger. Well, I guess I get to break out this. That's the problem when you're using a lot of ink. Let's see how this. Yeah, I think this is my new. I guess this is my new style. The acrylic pen is my new style of correction. Yeah, given it's going to be the plan is to do black and white because that's easy to print. And to do like parts of book 3 of Peter's the Wolf, as much of the inking like this, textures and stuff. The inking phase, so I don't have to do much for gray tone shading digitally. Just try to save time. Try to save time in one area, and end with something that looks a lot more like a wow. This looks like a real comic book page that you expect to. Maybe buy off the artist.
this will.
A little shading like this. More shaded in the background. Because when your heroine is wearing a white dress, it's. It's kind of funny. You can see how many guidelines went into the making of this one image of the girl, and almost none into the forest, into her background. Everything. And honestly, this is a good time to stop. We've got a complete panel. Hey, look. There we go. Another couple hours. Thanks for joining me, man.
Now I'll stop proper.
Good night, guys.